Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Presque High School as we get set for this Class B Girls North matchup with the Presque Wildcats taking on the Houlton Shire Towners. Steve Carmichael joined by Bobby Russell, John Humphrey on the camera for us on the video side, Olivia Morris, and Aiden Johnson, our producers. Get set for our Jay McLaughlin Construction pregame show. Bobby, let's talk about the Presque Wildcats first and foremost. 0-1 on the season so far, coming off a 48-41 loss against the Old Town Coyotes, where Faith Schoberg led the way with 13 points, and, well, she's just a sophomore. Presque hit 8 threes as a team. That's going to be their forte, as it always has been for head coach Jeff Hudson.
Well, that's been a staple in their offensive scheme in the half-court sets is dribble drive, kick to the open player on the weak side perimeter, and or if they get deep enough in the lane, they have Rebecca Ryder inside as well as Libby Morrow that they can dish off to for those easy layups that we've seen them run. Coach Jeff Hudson really sort of the innovator in that style of basketball in high school play, where he's been doing it for a long time, and now you see a lot of other schools trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, on the other side for the Houlton Shire Towners, 1-0 on the year. They made the jump from Class C to Class B. Hasn't really affected. They took down the defending champions, the MDI Trojans, on Saturday, 48-43. Tegan Ewings and Mia Henderson both in that game with 15 points. And with Houlton, they've gone from Class B to Class C. They're always on that borderline, but they seem to have success whichever class they're in.
Well, and Coach Graham, he does a great job with the kids, and they've had a tremendous amount of success in the last few years. A lot to do with Colleen Bushard,
yeah.
But nonetheless, they have had a historic program back in the 80s. Coach John Donato now at the Orono Red Riots. They were winning championships back then, and the tradition continues. The tradition continues, and they got all their kids back from last year's ball club, have valuable experience. And talking to Coach Graham before the game, and he said now the kids know the system. Spent a lot of time last year working on the sets. Now they know it. We can start adding some things in, and they're adjusting a lot quicker on situations, and it paid off. They come out with a big win opening night against MDI.
Yeah, and these two teams only separated by about 42 miles or so. They always seem to be so competitive with each other. When Bouchard was there, you had Emily Wheaton on the other side for Presque. When they graduated, the games are still close. Doesn't matter the turnover in players. These two schools with such terrific programs and great coaching and great athletes and great programs, I mean, to have this level of basketball and to have state championships the way these two teams do, I mean, it speaks well for what Aroostook County has as far as their basketball programs.
Well, it does, and these kids are familiar. The coaches are familiar with each other. The kids are familiar with each other because they play on the season in their middle school. Also in the AYBL ranks, they're playing against each other all the time. So kids are a lot more familiar today than when I played. There wasn't all this AYBL, and middle school was more of your league and that sort of thing. And they are very familiar, both storied programs really in the high school basketball ranks. And it's going to be a good one here today with Houlton, kind of a little bit of two different teams. Houlton brings back most everybody. Presque graduates 3 starters, bringing back Faith Schoberg and Maggie Castoni. And speaking of Maggie Castoni, talking to the coaches at Presque, they said they really need to get some point production from her. Didn't really have as many as they'd like to see against Old Town on Saturday.
Yeah, if you look at their point total on that game on Saturday, I mean, Anna Jondra, who was a hopeful freshman coming in, it took her a little while to get her legs underneath her. She didn't have any points in the first half, finally scored in the second half. But you had May Cassavan, who's a new player coming up this year. She got plenty of playing time, knocked down 2 threes. Elena Lagasse knocked down 2 from beyond the arc. Libby Morrow only had 1 point, and although she did give Presque a lot of second and third chance opportunities, and typically on those offensive rebounding opportunities, that turns into shots from beyond the arc because everybody collapses into the paint, and her and Rebecca Ryder could be a factor tonight.
And that's what, talking to Coach Graham, he wants to slow down the dribble drive penetration and close out on the threes. The one player they will not leave is Faith Schoberg. Tegan Ewing's going to draw that assignment on the defensive side of things, and she has that sole responsibility. No help side from her tonight. And so, again, coaches know each other real well. They know what they're going to try to do. And on the offensive side for the Shires, Coach Graham, he liked the balance that they had, almost getting 4 players in double digits against MDI. Tegan Ewing said 15, Mia Henderson 12, Olivia Henderson 10, Rebecca Howe right there with 8 points. He wants to keep that balance, and he wants to get off to a good start. He said for whatever reason, the kids always seem to come out a little bit nervous here in Presque, but want to come out with their feet underneath them and get off to a good start.
Yeah, just to touch quickly on Tegan Ewings, we saw her come onto the scene as a freshman, and she kind of played behind Bouchard, as everybody did on the Houlton team, but now she's really, as a senior, she's stepping up and providing the leading scoring in that first game with 15 points, tying Henderson to the team lead.
Well, and you got to remember, she missed 12 games last year with a broken hand, right. I believe it was. Only able to suit up for 6 games. So, Houlton has been plagued with the injury bug. Last year, Ewings was out for some games. Worthley was out with mono, and Rebecca Howe was out for a while with a back injury. This year, they lose a couple before the season starts from on a soccer injury. Sam Johnson, who coach said was probably going to be the 6th player, and Bree Barton is out with an injury right now. Not sure that she'll be able to come back. So they've had some bad luck as far as the injury bug goes, but Presque did last year as well with Savannah Rodriguez and Sydney Thompson. But a whole new year. Everybody seems healthy now.
Yeah, this is a big game, especially for Presque after that first loss in their debut. They play Houlton today. Saturday, it doesn't get much easier as they take on the Waterville Purple Panthers, who I think they went, 20-0 last year before losing into the final, and they didn't lose anybody.
Yeah, their only blemish on the season was in that Northern Maine final to MDI, and it took overtime to get the job done there. But they do come to town Saturday, but you can't look past these Houlton Shires right now because this is going to be a point where they win.
Yes.
Class B matchup, as you said, Houlton back up into the B ranks, and they're going to win a lot of ball games. Presque's going to win a lot of ball games too. Point worthy both ways.
Very much so. Right now we're going to take a 2-minute break on our Jay McLaughlin Construction pregame show. When we come back, we'll get the starting lineups and tip between Presque and Houlton on WHOU.
It's never too early to start planning for your future, whether that means protecting your family with life insurance, college planning, or starting to save for retirement. I want to help you get started.
Regardless of your age, it's important to start planning for your financial future now. And as you inch closer to retirement, it's important for you to protect your assets, your retirement income, and your family.
Thompson Hamel has many tools available to help you chart your course on your financial roadmap. Thompson Hamel, LLC. Your family, your future.
Tired of the same old boring meals? Try something new this week. TNT Takeout at 69 High Street in Houlton has what you're looking for.
And believe me, the name doesn't lie. The food is dynamite. Every pizza is loaded with lots of gooey cheese and delicious toppings, from traditional pepperoni to barbecue chicken combination to vegetarian pizza or all meat.
You can grab their specials or enjoy salads to food off the grill, Mexican seafood, and hot or cold subs. TNT Takeout, the convenience store that has it all.
Call 521-5250.
From kitchen excellence to building damage, owning your own restaurant comes with a lot of liabilities.
Among drivers, vehicles, and business property, there's a lot of exposure.
If our equipment fails, we know United Insurance has us covered.
For us, finding the right words for marketing campaigns is simple. Finding the right insurance is not. That's why it's nice to know United Insurance has us covered.
United Insurance has us covered.
United Insurance has us covered.
The United Insurance has us covered.
United Insurance has us covered.
White Smiles Family Dentistry realizes that life gets busy. We have locations in Presque Isle and Fort Fairfield to better accommodate your busy schedule. If you need to see a dentist but don't want to wait months for an appointment, then call White Smiles Family Dentistry. We are always accepting new patients and can accommodate you as quickly as possible. We offer the area's most complete dentistry, including implants, extractions, root canals, and implant-retained dentures, which saves you from trips downstate or transfers to another dental office. Don't wait months to see your dentist. Call White Smiles Family Dentistry today.
All right, back at Presque High School, getting set for this Class B Girls North matchup between the Presque Wildcats, 0-1 so far on the year, lost to Old Town 48-41 in their season opener. They're taking on the Houlton Shire Towners 1-0, head coached by Sean Graham, with a 48-43 victory over the MDI Trojans. Steve Carmichael joined by Bobby Russell. Happy to be with you, Bobby. It's our first game together so far this year. I had 2 games on Saturday. You had a game yesterday, but finally, Stevie and Bobby, we're back together.
Yes, we are. Back together once again, just like good old times.
It's hard to believe that. Of course, the last game we did was Dexter and Penobscot Valley, the Class C Girls Northern Maine Championship in February. Now we're second week of December, and it's basketball season already. And this is just the beginning of what's going to be a fun year on WHOU with 3 streams. And
how many on tap for the North Stream?
I think we have 36.
Okay.
36 games. So we have the Houlton Presque girls tonight, Houlton Presque boys tomorrow, and then on Friday We got Central Aroostook, Fort Fairfield boys, and then we're back here for Presque Isle Waterville doubleheader on Saturday. It's just for us. So, and not to mention
Big opening week.
Yeah, Tim Tweedy, Rob Moran, they're busy in the Southern Aroostook area. Ryan Lincoln, Brian McDormand, they're busy down in Bangor as well. So, looking forward to a big year on WHOU. Right now, we'll send it over to the voice of the Presque Isle Wildcats. We'll meet the starting lineups brought to you by the County Federal Credit Union. It's Richard Ezzy.
Injured player number 35, Reed Martin. The reserves, number 10, Emma Ardell. Number 14, Morgan Graham. Number 22, Drew Warman. Number 24, Emma Swallow. Number 31, Samantha Condon. Number 32, Kennedy Buzzio. The head coach for Houlton is Sean Graham. Assistant coaches Clyde Warman and John Solomon. Managers are Haley Galderio and Hallie Graham. And now let's meet the Presque Isle Wildcats. The reserves, number 10, Hattie Gruber. Number 14, Jenna Sargent. Number 30, Elena Lagasse. Number 32, Anna Trombley. Number 34, Meg Cassavant. Number 40, Riley Kinney. Number 42, Sadie LaPointe. Number 44, Allison Himes. The head coach of Presque Isle is Jeff Hudson. Assistant coach is Ralph Mitchell and Tim McHugh. Managers Riley Davis and Carly Charette. And now let's meet the starting lineups. For Houlton, a sophomore, number 12, Olivia Henderson. And for Presque Isle, sophomore, number 12, Faith Joberg. For Houlton, a senior, number 20, Keegan Ewing. And for Presque Isle, freshman, number 20, Anna Jandro. For Houlton, a sophomore, number 23, Nia Henderson. And for Presque Isle, senior, number 22, Libby Morrow. For Houlton, a senior, number 33, Abby Worthley. And for Presque Isle, senior, number 24, Maggie Castone. For Houlton, junior, number 34, Rebecca Howe. And for Presque Isle, senior, number 50, Rebecca Ryder. The officials for this game are Mr. Steve Clark, Mr. Bob Stent, and Mr. Frank Cross. The certified athletic trainer is Mr. Andy Halstrom of County Physical Therapy. Finally, the Wildcats respectfully request that all spectators display proper sportsmanship at all times. Please do not boo, taunt, or degrade coaches, players, or officials. Let's make good citizenship our #1 priority. Now we ask everyone to please stand and respectfully remove your hats as the Presque Isle High School Band, under the direction of Mr. Jason Priest, plays our national anthem.
All right, just about set for tip-off between Presque and Houlton. The Wildcats start Faith Schoberg, Anna Jondro, Libby Morrow, Maggie Castoni, Rebecca Ryder. Houlton counters with Olivia Henderson, Tegan Ewings, Mia Henderson, Abby Worthley, and Rebecca Howe. Steve Carmichael with Bobby Russell. Happy to be with you on this mild Tuesday evening. As it felt a little bit like spring out there today, Bobby.
Well, it did. It's nice to see the temperatures go north of 40 once again.
Only to see them drop below zero in a couple days. Officials are Mr. Clark, Mr. Stett, and Mr. Frost. Presque in the home white uniforms going left to right. Houlton in the visiting black uniforms going right to left. Mr. Clark will get us started. It's Ryder and Howe at center court, and the tip is controlled by the Presque Wildcats. It's Maggie Castoni who will let it fly from the right wing. Off the back iron, no good, and Houlton will get their first offensive possession.
Well, off that tip, she had a nice wide open look. Defense couldn't find her. Couldn't get that one to fall.
I will applaud Houlton for getting new uniforms, as it's much easier to see the numbers on the back of the jersey this year.
And I'm sure that was a concern of theirs when they ordered them.
Wasn't mine.
Make sure that you approved.
Schoberg crosses over, hands off to Morrow at the top of the key. She dribbles right. Now Castoni in the paint, bounces it to Ryder at the left block. Castoni from 17 feet, swish.
Well, that's that dribble drive that Coach Graham was talking about. Got to limit the ability to get into the lane. Castoni was able to drop it off to Ryder, and then she just fades away to the mid-range area and knocks it down.
The Wildcats strike first. It's about a minute into this first quarter. It's Olivia Henderson to the top of the key, goes to the right side across the arc. Ewings looking for Howe underneath, over the hands of Ryder. Schoberg saves it from going out of play, and the Wildcats come up with a steal. In transition, Jondro, right corner three-pointer, knocks it down.
Well, that's a good start for the Wildcats. Coach Graham gets up. They got the net.
So they fixed the net. I think there was some confusion. They thought somebody called a timeout. Head coach Sean Graham looked at head coach Jeff Hudson. They both put their hands up and said, I didn't call a timeout.
Well, after the three, Coach Graham popped up off the bench, and then the official on the other side blew the whistle for the net being hung up. And I think a few people, including me, thought he might have called a timeout, but he did not.
So it's 5-0 Presque, and there's Houlton on the board. That's Mia Henderson for three from the top of the key.
Well, that's a good answer. Nice set play there, freeing her up. She flashes from inside. Got her feet underneath her, squared up.
Castoni looking for the answer. Wouldn't go. Rebound fought for. Jondro almost saved it. That had her left foot on the right end line, and it'll go over to the Shiretowners. It'll be Henderson to inbound to Worthley, and it'll be Olivia Henderson to handle the point guard duties. Picked up by Faith Schoberg. Straight away, she'll bounce it over to Ewings. Up top, it's Mia Henderson. Dribbles to her left at the elbow. Out to the other Henderson for three. Swish. So Houlton, they answer with two straight threes, and once again, the net's messed up, as I don't think a shot has hit the rim yet.
Those last two were pretty pure. What do you want to bet? Next time we're here tomorrow, there's different nets, because they aren't going to mess around with undoing them.
These nets are brand new.
But they're long.
Up top, Jondro looking for another three for Presque. Hits the front of the iron, no good. Rebound battle for it, and it comes down to Rebecca Howe up the left side. Pick her dribble up, slow it down, and give it off to Worthley. Now over to Henderson. Faces up on Schoberg, hesitates, bounces it to Worthley. Picked up by Jondro. Mia Henderson battles with Morrow underneath, as Worthley's going to be called for the travel. Still 6-5, lead for Houlton. 5:35 to play in the first quarter. Schoberg, across center court, goes to the right side. Now back to her left hand, gets it to Morrow, just inside the arc on the right side. Dribbles into the paint with her left hand, bounces off her sneaker and scooped up by Jondro. Straight away, now Castoni at the right wing, fakes right, goes left. Now it's Jondro, Euro step, thought about it, said dishes it off to Ryder. Her pass intended for Castoni, knocked away by Mia Henderson. And it looks like that's going to be another travel call, that time on Howe.
A couple times where they just couldn't get the ball down before they got their feet going.
Meg Cassavant checks in for Ryder, and Riley Kinney in for Libby Morrow. A couple substitutions in the front court for Presque, trailing by one. Castoni, Schoberg, Cassavant, Kinney, and Jondro for Coach Hudson. Ewings, both Hendersons, Howe, and Worthley for Houlton. Schoberg will kick it out to Castoni. at the free throw line, shut off by Mia Henderson.
Well, that's a nice job moving her feet, denying the access to the lane.
Cassavant got around her defender, pulls up from 6 feet, back iron no good. And a foul on the rebounding action will go on Presque.
That's going to be Cassavant picking up her first foul, first of the game. Nice up fake she used to create the open shot.
4:46 remaining in the first quarter, 6-5 lead for Houlton. Presque started the game off with 5 straight points, and then Houlton followed it up with 6 unanswered. That's where we stand. Mia Henderson looks for Worthley, saves it from going in the backcourt. Picked up closely by Jondro. Worthley fires it over to Olivia Henderson. Straight away. Inside out dribble, that's going to be a carry. As Jondro that time providing the denial defense.
Went to make the one-handed pass, and as you say, Jondro got out and just enough to make her hesitate and create the carry violation.
Schoberg, just a sophomore for Presque, led them with 13 points in their loss against Old Town. Drives left, kicks it out to Jondro, thought about it, attacks to her right, took a bump, fell to the floor, and it's going to be a turnover. It goes over to the Shiretowners.
Still not
100% getting back up the floor.
Limping a little, but they're going to play on.
Halfway through the first quarter, Houlton still leading by 1. Jondro tips the pass away intended for Worthley. It'll stay with Houlton. Jondro still a bit shaken up.
She is shaken up. I don't know if they're going to get Legassi up off the bench here.
They get into Olivia Henderson at the right wing for 3. She buries another one. 9 unanswered now for Houlton to take the lead by 4.
All threes from Houlton. Henderson knocked one down on the left wing. This time it was the right wing.
Schoberg attacks, blocked away by Ewings. As that'll be the matchup to watch with Ewings on Schoberg. Emma Ardell is in for Abby Worthley. As you mentioned, Legassi in for Jondro. Anna Jondro, the younger sister of Maddie Jondro, who graduated last year. They get into Schoberg, able to set her feet for 3 off the front iron. And the weak side board down to Olivia Henderson.
Well, the Wildcats got the look they wanted. They freed Schoberg up.
Ewings drives baseline, looking for Ardell underneath through her hands. And on the near side, it'll go over to the Wildcats. 3:29 remaining in the first quarter. Steve Carmichael with Bobby Russell. 4-point advantage for Houlton. Schoberg, screen set by Kinney. They go under the screen, and Schoberg rattles in a 3. And an immediate timeout called by head coach Sean Graham. As Schoberg pulls Presque back within 1, and I think he's calling a timeout to tell Tegan Ewings, can't go under the screen.
Yeah, that's exactly what he's doing. He talked to her first in the timeout, and there's no question. That's a long-range 3, but you know Faith Schoberg can knock him down. She rattled that one home.
So far in this game, we have 6 made field goals. 5 of them are three-pointers. So if you're a fan of the new modern style of basketball, this is the game for you.
It sure is. What do you think of that? You like it, don't you?
I love it. Nothing wrong with it. Olivia Henderson will inbound for Houlton, leading by 1.
What was it last year? Coach Hudson did the math for us. He, being the math teacher that he is, talked about the percentage. If you shoot 33% from the field at threes, you got to shoot 50% from the field for twos to come out equal.
3-pointer there off the mark from Mia Henderson. Castoni will inbound to Schoberg as we hit the 3-minute-to-go mark here in the first quarter. Houlton Presque girls play tonight. Boys play tomorrow as a hand check whistle on Buzzio, who's checked in.
Well, they ran the same high screen right here in front of the Houlton bench. Time they did a better job of not giving up the screen. Buzzio just couldn't get back in front of Schoberg.
Castoni will trigger it in. Schoberg trying to get free. She finally does. Ewing's back out on her. Legassi now has it at the right elbow, crosses over just inside the free throw line. Cassavant drives baseline at the left block, dumps underneath to Kinney. Couldn't get the shot off as Buzzio closed out on her. Now Schoberg kicks it out. Castoni, left wing 3-pointer, buries it.
Well, in the course of offensive rebounding for the Wildcats, the Shires lose track of Castoni. Schoberg gives the 1 extra pass to her on the wing.
That gives the Wildcats a 2-point lead. So Presque had 5 straight points. Houlton answered with 9, and then Presque right back at him with 6 unanswered. So game of run so far. So we hit 2:15 to play in the first quarter. Buzzio. Straight away. At the elbow. Picture dribble up. In trouble. Trying to find a teammate. Throws it away. It's intercepted by Castoni. Inside the lane. As a reach-in foul is called on Mia Henderson. As they're reporting the foul, Presque was already running their out-of-bounds play. As
they did that the time before. They started making their cuts and screens before the official handed the inbounder the ball, kind of giving away the play.
Presque leading by 2. Under 2 minutes to play in this first quarter. Schoberg, left-hand dribble over to Castoni. Screen set. Nice dump pass underneath to Riley Kinney. She'll bank it in.
Beautiful use of the screen as well as the dump down inside to that low block when the help side comes.
13-9 lead for the Wildcats. It's Howe with a jumper, knocks it down.
That's a couple times now the Shires have been able to flash. This time it was just inside the three-point line. We saw Henderson knock one down from behind the arc. Howe gets one to go from about 17.
Houlton slices the lead in half to 2 points. As Cassavan has it at the left mid-post, knocked loose. She's able to corral possession. Finds Schoberg along the left baseline on the far side. Crosses over, double teamed. Tried to lob it to Cassavan, and it's tipped and stolen by Rebecca Howe, and then a block call on, I think, Meg Cassavan.
They got bottled up in the corner. Nice job there by the Shires, not letting them out of there, creating the turnover.
Drew Warman checks in. If I did not know better, that looked just like Riley Warman checking in. That's Drew Warman. And Anna Trombley is in for Presque. Ewings, mid-range jumper from the right side. Dances on the iron and falls off, and the board down to Trombley.
You know, they didn't get it to go, but I love the cross-court pass.
Yeah.
Open there, use the skip pass to create that good look.
Trombley up high, goes left at the mid-post. Picture dribble up. Legassi cuts back door, bounces it to Riley Kinney, and she'll bank it home, and the Wildcats extend their lead back up to 4 points.
When you get the ball that deep, the players that are on, and it's been Riley Kinney being the recipient of a couple easy buckets, they come to help, and the Wildcats are able to find her. That time the cross-court pass sails wide of Worthley.
As Hattie Buber is in for Presque. Schoberg will get a rest with 23 seconds to play in the first quarter, and the Wildcats leading by 4. See if the Wildcats look for the final shot here. It's Castoni dribbling the basketball hip high with the right hand.
Where do you suppose this shot's going to take place?
Probably in the left baseline. Castoni drives right, puts up the runner, left it short. Mia Henderson, the board, will look to clear it. Now it's down to Worthley. Up ahead to Ewings. Half-court heave. Not there. And that will do it for the first quarter of play. The score 15-11, the Wildcats lead. We're back in 60 seconds for the second quarter after this on WHOU.
Aroostook Limousines and Ace Rent-A-Car get you there in style. Aroostook Limousines has 8 and 12 passenger limousines and a 20 passenger party bus for evenings out, proms, weddings, birthdays, concerts, whatever the celebration. Travel anywhere in state. And Ace Rent-A-Car specializes in insurance rentals and has locations in Presque, Houlton, and Patton at Savage Paint and Body. Ace offers everything from compact cars to vans. Ace Rent-A-Car. We do it right and we make it easy. Reach both businesses at 768-7368.
Hello, this is Tony Bowers at Bowers Funeral, and we want to wish good luck to all area basketball teams, boys and girls, as you strive for the gold ball at the end of the season. We are proud to be a part of your communities and our family serving your family since 1900. Good luck, play hard, and above all, be good sportsmen.
Back on WHOU at Presque High School. Steve Carmichael with Bobby Russell. Getting underway in the second quarter. Presque leading by 4, 15-11. Mia Henderson for 3 from the top of the key. Wouldn't fall. And on the rebounding action, there's a foul called on Houlton.
That one's going to go on Howe. It was Legassi that had good position inside on the rebound.
Schoberg has it. Point guard for the Wildcats. Legassi drives down the right side. Kinney hesitated, Shot was partially deflected by Henderson, still loose on the floor. Buber will kick it out to Kinney on the left side. Pass was a bit low for Trombley to handle, and finally after the helter-skelter, it's going to come down to Elena Lagasse.
I think when Buber finally got a hold of the ball, she kicked it out, but if she looked at the hoop, she might have had an opportunity to put one up.
Ewings and Buber fight for it. Buber has it now. Top of the key, Schoberg has a good look at it. Back iron. Now Ewings back the other way. A little runner from 10 feet, doesn't fall. And we got another foul on the rebounding action. It's going to go on, I believe, Rebecca Howe.
It will be. That's the second foul. Same type of foul in the rebounding action. Wildcats had the good position. He was called with a push from behind.
15-11 the score. Presque still leading. A minute gone in the second quarter. Schoberg fires it over to Lagasse. Pulls up from the right elbow off the left side of the rim. And corralled by Worthley. Houlton back the other way up the center of the floor. Olivia Henderson picked up closely by Castoni. Henderson hesitates, gets Castoni on skates as Henderson puts up the three-pointer. Came up a bit short, and it'll end up going over to Presque.
That was a tough shot. You say Castoni was right there. Hand up in the face. Might have been a little wobbly at first, but still able to get the hand up to contend.
Schoberg inside-out dribble, pulls up from the right wing, swish for three.
Well, that's the same play that Coach Graham called the 30-second timeout on in the first quarter. Just a little ball screen. Nobody steps up. Coach Graham's going to get a 60-second timeout this time.
Full timeout for head coach Sean Graham. We'll take it with him. It's an 18-11 lead for the Wildcats. We're back in 60 seconds on WHOU.
Be good for Nana, okay?
I love you. That's nutmeg.
A moment like this is decades in the making. The County Federal Credit Union, partnering with you to achieve financial success so you can enjoy the moments that matter. CountyFCU.org.
County Ag and Turf Supply is at its new home on 7 Dow Siding Road in Caribou, offering the same great service. Randy and Jerry are working hard to supply the county with the best products. They offer Blue Seal Feed, Sentinel, Inspire, and Dynasty and Triple Crown for your equine, Home Fresh Extra Egg and Multi-Flock Pellets, and Crumples and Mealworm for your poultry, Entrust Pet Food for your cat or dog, Minerals for your beef and dairy. They have feed for all your livestock. County Ag and Turf Supply also has wood pellets, lubricants, and of course, Willow the Blue Seal Rabbit on the premises. Stop by County Ag and Turf Supply today.
Back at Presque High School on WHOU, Steve Carmichael with Bobby Russell. 6:20 remaining in the second quarter. It's a 7-point advantage for the Presque Wildcats. Early season matchup between two rivals as Houlton made the jump up to Class B. Picked up the victory over MDI on Saturday as Olivia Henderson will fire away from the left baseline. It's too strong on the weak side. Ewings is tied up, and possession error will favor the Wildcats. Schoberg.
It's a change of defense here, Stevie.
Schoberg picks her dribble up, goes over to Lagasse, right corner for three. Too strong. Trombley tried to tip it to Ryder, but instead went off the hands of Howe. It'll stay with Presque.
Didn't really get a good look at it, but it looks like they're going to put Ewings sticking with Schoberg and then have Henderson also right there to help and form a triangle around the paint.
I think we had a foul call here on Lagasse. It is on Elena Lagasse. .5:45 remaining in the second quarter. 18-11 is the lead for the Wildcats. It's Rebecca Howe on the right wing, just across the arc. Worthley flashes through the middle. Ewings just inside the arc on the left wing. Now it to Worthley on the other side for three. Back iron. Long board tracked down by Ewings. Faces up on Castoni. Drives right. Shut off.
That was a nice job by Ewings timing that rebound, long rebound, just to tip it out where she could track it down.
Ewings rips it through. Drives left. Gets some space. Left it short off the glass. And Schoberg clears it for Presque. Back the other way comes Faith Schoberg, finds Lagasse. That's a two-pointer if it goes, and it does.
You know what I like about that, Stevie, is they got the ball up, got it to the wing, but Lagasse didn't hesitate. Didn't try to look down and see, am I behind the line, am I not behind the line? Just took the shot. She was standing on it, but it still goes because there was zero hesitation.
Abby Worthley is called for steps. So Presque Isle on a bit of a run here to take a 9-point lead, their biggest lead of the game. As Ewings and Henderson will pick up Schoberg at midcourt. Jondro comes to the near wing, receives the pass. Guarded by Mia Henderson. Up top, Castoni. They leave her wide open from beyond the arc. Bounces off the backboard, then off of Castoni's knee. They fight for it. And Henderson and Castoni tie up. Possession arrow will favor Houlton.
So with the double team on Schoberg, it's going to leave somebody open underneath. We'll see if the Wildcats can take advantage of that and maybe make Coach Graham readjust.
Henderson guarded closely by Anna Trombley, and that's going to be Rebecca Howe with a jumper. Swish just inside the arc.
They've got a lot of offense from that area right there. Flashing up high, knocking down that straight-on shot.
Castoni was directing traffic, almost got hit in the face with a pass. Jondro for three, knocks it down.
And that's what's going to happen. Somebody might be inside, might be outside. That time there, they leave Jondro open. She's able to knock down her second one of the game.
10-point advantage now for Presque Isle. Under 4 minutes to go in the second quarter. Rebecca Howe has it just inside the free throw line. She's pickpocketed by Maggie Castoni back the other way for the lay-in. Banks it home.
But Castoni wins that foot race ahead of Ewings, and she's quite a cross-country runner from what I understand.
25-13 lead for Presque Isle. Howe has it on the right side. Now to Mia Henderson. Ewings underneath on the flex cut. Misses, and then the board is down to Presque Isle. Schoberg.
They got a good look in there. As you say, the flex cut right point blank range, just couldn't get it to fall.
Jondro will bounce to Schoberg. She'll swing it to Castoni. Fired away to Anna Trombley in the corner for three. Gets the shooter's touch.
The Wildcats really knocking them down here in the early going.
Ewings on the right side, up top to Henderson, guarded by Trombley, goes right, gets around Trombley. Nice finish from Mia Henderson.
That's a real strong move down the right side. Just squared herself up and said, I'm taking you to the rack, and finishes.
28-15, 2:35 to go second quarter. Presque Isle leading. Castoni thought about it, had a notion. It said attacks right all the way to the bucket for two.
And we see they come out of that double team on Schoberg. Wildcats recognize, spread the floor, and straight to the basket.
30-15, the lead for Presque Isle. 2:20 remaining in the second quarter. Olivia Henderson has it on the left wing. Thought about it. Schoberg closes out on her. Now straight away. Right baseline, Ewings attacks to her left. Gets in the lane. Hoop in the harm for Tegan Ewings.
That one's going to go on Maggie Castoni just a little bit late. Recovering. Caught her with the body. Ewing's able to finish in traffic.
Meg Cassavant and Libby Morrow checking back in for Presque Isle. And for Houlton is Morgan Graham. As Tegan Ewings will get one at the free throw line. Rims out, and Meg Cassavant will clear it for Presque Isle. 30-17 the score, 2 minutes left in the first half. Meg Cassavant shuffled the feet, and that'll be a travel.
Established the pivot foot, then moved it before the ball went down. That's what most of these travel violations we've seen here tonight have been caused from. Not getting the ball down fast enough.
In the lane, it's Worthley. She took a bump, and she finished.
A couple nice offensive sets here for the Shires. Curl screen down the lane, that time by Worthley. Morrow gets her with the arms.
It's going to be a timeout called by head coach Jeff Hudson, just a 30-second timeout. So we'll keep it right here. The score is 30-19, Presque Isle leading Houlton. A minute 48 to go here in the second quarter. Steve Carmichael with Bobby Russell, John Humphrey operating our camera for us. Got Aiden Johnson and Olivia Morris producing for us back at the station. And, well, Presque Isle in the second quarter, as you said, they've really been lighting it up from, well, everywhere. They got 3 threes just in this quarter. They had 2 in the first, and they hit 8 all game against Old Town. So Presque Isle right now shooting the ball well.
They are. And that was one of the concerns that the coaching staff had talking to him before the game was they got to be able to score points. 41 points just wasn't enough against Old Town, and they've really come out strong here in this first half.
Worthley at the free throw line, misses. Long rebound tracked down by Schoberg of Presque. She crosses the timeline. Halfway between center court and the three-point line. Gets a screen from Kinney, goes to the right side. Finds Kinney, looking for a teammate, trying to fire it underneath to Casavan. It's intercepted by Olivia Henderson.
Nice job there by Henderson, just jumping the passing lane.
Underneath, looking for Ewings. Has a lane, but called for the travel.
It was a tough pass to catch and just unable to handle it. Got her feet kind of locked up underneath her. Couldn't keep the pivot foot. And we got a horn from the head table here. Officials are going to get together, figure out who that last foul was on. They're going to say it was 22.
So an 11-point lead for Presque in the basketball. A minute 15 to go. Schoberg, screen set. Jondro left open, drives right, trying to get around her defender. She does. Finishes at the basket, and she got around Condon.
Well, she had a inkling to maybe pull the trigger from deep, but saw the baseline, and tough finish.
Jondro got 8 points so far on the night. Leading scorer for the Wildcats. Castoni almost came away with the steal. As Warman is back in for Condon. It'll be Worthley to trigger it in. Out there with Olivia Henderson, Graham, Ewings, and Warman. Schoberg, Castoni, Kinney, Casavan, and Jondro for Presque. Henderson hands off to Worthley. Goes back over to Henderson at the right wing. Dribbles with the right hand at the top of the key. Bounces it over to Ewings. Jab steps with her left foot. Graham will try to swing it to Worthley through the hands of Jondro. Worthley tried to find Ewings at the free throw line. Tipped by Castoni, and now it's stolen. Presque has numbers. Up the center of the floor goes Jondro. Passes a bit too far out in front of Castoni, but she's able to corral it and finish.
Under control. Able to regroup. Uses the pivot foot. Finds the hoop.
34-19 the lead for Presque. Henderson's going to let it fly. Knocks it down again.
Ooh, she's got some range, Stevie.
Yeah, she does. 34-22. Schoberg gets the inbounds pass. It won't count even if it goes. And that will do it for the first half of play. The score 34-22. So Bobby Presque, as they led by 4 at the end of the first quarter, but now they lead by 12. An impressive start for Presque.
Well, it is, and they've been red hot from the outside. I believe six threes in the ball game so far. But they've also been able to get to the basket at times as well. So things going pretty good offensively for the Wildcats here in this first half.
Some scoring numbers for you from the first half. Faith Schoberg had 6, Anna Jondro with 8, Maggie Castoni had 11, Elena Lagasse with 2, Anna Trombley with 3, and Riley Kinney with 4. Olivia Henderson on the side for Houlton had 9, Tegan Ewings with 2, Mia Henderson with 5, Abby Worthley with 2, and Rebecca Howe with 4. So I'm not sure if, well, we got a second here. Bobby Russell has apparently got the winning ticket. Is this the half-court shot, or is this this? So we're going to keep it right here. If Terry Cummings wants to hop on the microphone with me, he can take Cleve Set because Terry Cummings is our Catan Trust Company halftime show guest. So we might as well have Terry just throw the microphone on right now. As Bobby, who's got to be about the luckiest guy. Yeah? He's got to be about the luckiest guy I've ever met. Is now he's going to take a free throw to try to win some booster bucks. And then he's going to take a half-court shot, Terry. And I want you to judge his shot because you were a great shooter.
We'll see how it is.
Yeah, so we got to.
He was a pretty good shooter, too.
Yeah. Well, was he as good as you?
Oh, well, you know.
We won't say. So they're going to let him know, though, they have to be behind the half-court line. So Bobby will want to go back and watch this, and we got to have video footage. If he airballs it, we're never going to let him live it down. We can't.
Right.
We can't. They'll score at the half right now, 34-22. Presque leading Houlton as the janitors, custodians get done cleaning the floor. Now, Bobby was a great player. Yes, he was for Fort Fairfield.
He's a good player. We'll see
Very good player.
See how his form is on this free throw. Oh, nothing. Oh, a little hard.
A little hard that time, so no booster bucks for
Backrimmed
Bobby.
it.
So he'll have to actually pay money at the concession stand.
And it's
Lets the half-court
Oh!
shot fly. Oh, he almost had it. Almost able to
little
bank it
hard
home.
off the bank.
That's a good effort, though, by Bobby. Right now, we're going to take a 2-minute break. We come back, we'll chat with head coach Terry Cummings on our Catan Trust Company halftime show in 2 minutes on WHOU.
Want that special item for this year's high school basketball season to show your team support? Cushman & Sons, locally owned and operated in Presque Isle, has team sportswear and will do custom embroidery, screen printing, logo design, digital and printing, as well as banners, decals, and other vinyl works. Cushman & Sons also can design trophies, awards, and add specialty items. Cushman & Sons, 764-3833 or CushmanandSonsInc.com. And don't forget to visit and like their Facebook page. If you can think it, Cushman & Sons will say, yeah, we can do that.
Hi from Jeans, where you'll find better TV and more ways to enjoy it. Get 190 channels for $59.99 a month with Dish. Plus, get a free voice remote on us. And remember, we're also trained Nest Pros and deliver white glove service for all kinds of smart home solutions, like the Google Nest Learning Thermostat or the Google Nest Cam Outdoor, which lets you look after your home from anywhere so you can travel worry-free. So come and visit our newest location on Stillwater in Bangor, or visit us online to find a local store near you.
Back at Presque Isle High School on WHOU. Score at the half. Presque Isle leading Houlton 34-22. Getting set for our Catan Trust Company halftime show. We're joined by head coach of the Presque Isle Wildcats, Terry Cummings. 1-0 on the year so far, Terry. A comeback victory against Old Town on Saturday, 63-59. You had Caleb Wheaton with 29, Malachi with 22. Take us before that fourth quarter. What are you telling your guys to be able to get on that run?
Well, I mean, you know, when you're down 9, 47-38, whatever it was at the end of the third quarter, you know, just telling the guys, you know, we're on our home floor. That should be good for 10 points. So that's what we were banking on to be able to come back. We knew we had to get some turnovers, and we knew we had to knock down some shots. And we also knew that, as we've said, you know, night in and night out, two guys not usually going to be able to beat a team. So we had to get that third and fourth score, and we found that in Connor Rideout. Hit some big shots, and Xavier Mackey, the only points he scored was on that layup cutting through the lane. So it was nice to see.
But you mentioned those two guys that scored all those points for you. Caleb Wheaton, first of all, I mean, so he came onto the scene, I think, as a sophomore. He became a starter for you when Griffin Jarrett was a senior. Last year, of course, he played, I wouldn't say in the shadow of Jonah Hudson, because Caleb was still a very important part of the team, but now he's really stepped up as a senior. Granted, it's only one game, but with a 29-point performance against a tough team like Old Town early in the season, you have to be happy with what your senior did.
Yeah, and the biggest thing I was happy with Steve, with Caleb, was just the leadership that he showed. You know, he kept us calm on the floor. You know, all new guys, because Sam Boyer was out, and he was the only other guy with any varsity experience.
Right.
So it was all guys that had never played at the varsity level before. That's a difference in itself, and you know, we've seen that with some of the younger ones that come on the scene as well. They can be pretty shaky, but Caleb kept him steady out there, and he was consistent throughout the game, so I was very pleased with his performance.
And Coach, you know, you graduated 4 starters off last year, with Caleb only being the lone returning starter. Who's been, you know, pleasantly surprising to you here in the early going?
Well, I mean, obviously Connor Rideout. Connor Rideout's a kid that you know, didn't actually, it wasn't even because he had to work some this summer and everything, wasn't even able to play summer basketball with us. So, you know, we didn't get to see him in the summer, and, you know, we had a couple good tournaments that we went to, but I could tell when he came in November, he was ready to, you know, he was locked in. He plays football too, so he was locked in. He was ready to go. I think we're just going to, you know, he's just going to continue to get better and better, especially at only 5'11". You know, he's a little undersized, but he's got the heart and the motor that's going to get the job done.
And one thing, you talk about heart and motor. There's one thing I've noticed anytime the Wildcats go on, there's not many teams that outwork them. That's got to be something you really emphasize.
That's something we always pride ourselves on. You know, if we don't have the talent to beat the other team, we always say, you know, the hard work, hopefully that's going to make up for it. And, you know, these guys, I mean, this particular group right here is a group that, you know, with a bunch of new guys on the scene, you know, sometimes that can, you got to find your way a little bit. But we got a great senior group that really, they don't, you know, they just help the younger guys along and everything. They don't look down on them or anything. They're great in the locker room and everything. So it's a great group to work with.
Now, your son, Malachi, a freshman this year, talk about being able to coach him. I said impressive debut, 22 points in his first ever varsity game. I mean, not only as your coach, but as a dad, you have to be pretty proud.
Well, yeah, obviously, you know, like you said, Steve, I mean, you hit the nail on the head there. I mean, you know, as a dad, you're very happy. As a coach, you know, it's a little bit more difficult because you're trying to balance 12, 13 other guys along with him. And especially, you know, coming in as a freshman, there's a lot of pressure there. But, you know, he's played enough basketball in AAU and stuff. He's played against some very good competition. So, you know, he's going to make a lot of mistakes, you know, out there because he's still young.
Oh, sure.
But at the same time, you know, it was good to see that he was ready to step in and play at that level.
So you talk about tough competition tomorrow night. You play against the Houlton Shiretowners. Talk about Keegan Gentle, and I don't give away your game plan defensively, but just the challenges of guarding somebody as talented as Gentle.
Well, the thing with Keegan Gentle is just how strong he is, and what's really impressed me the most with him, Steve, is you know, He's a guy that doesn't show a lot of emotion out there on the floor. You know, if he makes a bad pass or bad shot or whatever, he's pretty calm, cool, and collective. And I mean, you know, I've gone over that MDI game 100 times that they just won and they were down by 7. But you know, when you got Keegan Gentle on the floor, you got a chance to be in it. And I knew he was going to become much more aggressive. And that's what kind of scares me with him is when he turns it on. You know, that 31 that he got against MDI, we can't allow him to do that against us.
No, but I think it'll be a great game. Obviously, a great start. You start the season 1-0 and an opportunity tomorrow against a team that's going to win a lot of ball games.
Absolutely.
So.
I think they're a top 4 team, so we're going to have our work cut out for us, but we're going to go out there and give it our best shot.
Well, we look forward to watching it. Thanks, Coach. We appreciate you taking some time to join us.
Thanks a lot, guys. We appreciate the coverage.
All right, that was head coach of the Presque Wildcats, Terry Cummings. They'll take on the Houlton Shiretowners tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. We'll have that game for you on WHOU. The pregame will start at about 6:45 as we are just about set for the third quarter to commence here from Presque High School. It's 34-22. The Wildcats lead Houlton. The leading scorer for Presque Isle in that first half was Maggie Castoni. She had 11, followed by Anna Jondro with 8. On the other side for Houlton, Olivia Henderson led them with 9, followed by Mia Henderson with 5. Castoni, Ryder, Jondro, Schoberg, and Morrow for Presque Isle. Presque Isle will start with the basketball. Mia Henderson, Olivia Henderson, Howe, Worthley, and Ewings for the Shiretowners. Castoni will inbound on the far sideline as the referee, Mr. Clark, waits for the band to disperse and the cheerleaders to get set.
I almost was able to take you to the lemonade stand tonight, Stevie.
Would you have actually done that, though?
Of course I would.
All right, that's good to know. Almost. You had it was a solid attempt. It was online. A bit too strong.
It was. When it left my hands, I knew it was online. I just didn't know how it was going to react when if it got to the rim or the backboard, what was going to happen. But
traveling violation called on Presque Isle to start the third quarter. I was more concerned about your free throw.
That's secondary. I don't care about that free throw.
Mia Henderson, her shot from underneath was too strong, and Castoni will have the rebound for Presque Isle. Just underway in the third quarter.
I won't be a 10 in your free throw academy.
Well, I think you need to. Morrow crosses over. Almost stolen by Mia Henderson, but a reach-in foul called. So I'll give you free admission.
I'll take you up on it sometime. Not sure when. I'll let you know.
Castoni lobs it into Morrow straight away, guarded by Ewings. Attacks to her left.
It's a good job there by the Shires, denying the inbound pass to Schoberg, knowing that that's where the ball wanted.
Jondro, strong attack of the glass. Was too strong off the window. Ewings comes out of traffic with it. Go over to Mia Henderson on the far side. Crosses over, goes left, gets to the block, and That's going to be the call on Maggie Castoni. It will be a blocking foul. (34-22) still the score. 12-point advantage for Presque. Just underway in the third. Steve Carmichael with Bobby Russell. Try to get into Mia Henderson. Castoni telegraphed it. And a tie-up will favor Houlton.
Trying to free up that weak side. Job by the Wildcats to deny it. Cause a tie-up.
Worthley into Mia Henderson. Left baseline for three. Left it short. Worthley gets the offensive board. Kicks it back out to Henderson. Her left-handed runner along the baseline wouldn't fall. How the rebound. Then a foul going to be called on Ryder. And there, the Shires outworking the Wildcats underneath.
Oh, they definitely did. Getting a couple cracks at it. Howe sticking with it. Draws the foul on Ryder. Just her first.
As a free throw put up by Howe. Comes up short. Riley Kinney checking in for Ryder. Howe will get one more. One dribble. Free throw spins around the iron and falls off. It's going to go off of Mia Henderson and be Presque basketball.
Coach Hudson up off the bench on that one. No, and he said, we just talked about that, boxing out. That's why you're in there.
Schoberg almost tied up by Worthley. Gets it out to Castoni. Now Morrow at the elbow. She attacks the rim, puts up the shot, got hit. And it'll be Libby Morrow, who's been aggressive when she's been in the game. It'll get two shots at the line.
Well, that was a nice strong drive. Didn't look like there was any opening, but she found one. Got it up to the rim. It's going to go on. Tegan Ewing's just her first.
Morrow misses the first. 6:46 remaining in the third. Wildcats still leading by 12. Morrow set for the second. Misses that one as well. Rebound tipped and controlled by Mia Henderson. In transition, looking for Ewings off her fingertips. She saves it from going out of bounds. Now Olivia Henderson near the Wildcat at center court. And now in their own half circle, it's Abby Worthley. Holds her left fist up in the air, calls out the play. Right baseline, Mia Henderson. Pass intended for Ewings, blocked away by Kinney. And now it's Castoni. Inside out dribble, goes right. Across the timeline, gets to the free throw line, passes underneath to Kinney. And the foul going to be called underneath. It's on number 33, Abby Worthley.
Good sequence there for Riley Kinney. Nice job rotating over, helping out on the weak side defense, creating the turnover, then draws the foul on Worthley on the offensive end. A little quicker, she might have been able to take it up to the basket.
They get it into Trombley. Shot rejected by Mia Henderson, but she's going to be called for the foul. It'll be Anna Trombley to the free throw line.
It's going to be the third foul on Mia Henderson.
It's already the sixth foul of the second half. We're less than 2 minutes into it.
And to clarify, that'd be 2 on Presque, 4 on Houlton.
Trombley misses the first. As Emma Swallow will check in for Houlton. Another freshman. Trombley gets set for the second. Gets the friendly shooter's roll there. A couple times she's gotten the shooter's roll.
She attend the academy?
Oh, friendly home rims. Swallow off the bench, no hesitation, knocks down the jumper.
I like that. Without hesitation, just put it up there. Good form.
Castoni attacks the basket, took a hit from Swallow. It'll be Castoni to get 2 free throws at the line. That'll be the 5th already on Houlton. So Presque's, the pace keeps up, they'll be shooting a lot of free throws.
They will be. Have to knock them down, though.
That's right. Be Maggie Castoni, the senior. Transferred from Washburn 2 years ago.
Do you have from Old Town on Saturday? Do you know what they were from the line? The Wildcats?
No, I don't. No, I only keep track of made shots. Track of missed.
Okay. Interesting way to do it.
Presque was 3 for 16 from 3 in the first half of the game against Old Town, 6 of 13 so far tonight.
So the misses, you just pretend they didn't happen, or?
Well, they don't matter when I total the points at the end of the game.
Okay. Everybody shoots 100%.
That's what I say. Why not? Free throw line jumper missed by Howe. I do know you're 0 for 1 from the free throw line, though.
This season I am. You know what? They gave me the 28.5 ball. I'm not used to that.
Kinney underneath, wouldn't fall. Ewings with a good box out, gets the rebound. 3-on-2, Houlton back the other way. Howe, nice catch, but couldn't finish from the left block. Ewings will get the offensive board.
Well, in this second half, there's been multiple times where the Shires have really outworked the Wildcats. It was almost a taste of their own medicine with a little drive and kick to the low block, but Howe couldn't get it to fall.
5 minutes to go, third quarter. Presque up by 11. Trombley tried to kick it out to Schoberg. Long three-pointer from Faith Schoberg. Hits the bottom of the rim. And tie-up possession error will favor Presque.
30-second timeout.
30-second timeout called by head coach Jeff Hudson. 4:50 to go in the third quarter. 35-24, Presque with the lead. So after the hot shooting by both teams really in that first half,
they haven't come out of the gates real hot here to start the second half.
Cooled down quite a bit here in the second half.
One point for the Wildcats, 2 for the Shires.
Yeah, the 2 points via
3-10 in.
2 points via Emma Swallow on a jumper, and then a free throw from Anna Trombley are the only points scored so far in the second half. It was 15-11 Presque at the end of one, 34-22 at the half, and it's 35-24 at the moment as Faith Schoberg will get ready to commence play once again.
Another way to look at it, though, is getting it done on the defensive end, not giving up very many points either way.
Warman beats Castoni to the loose ball. They both fall to the floor. It's going to go off of Castoni. Houlton basketball. Warman will trigger it in. On the end line, lobs it into Ewings, just outside the free throw line. Underneath the Warman, the freshman puts up the shot. Gets fouled by Presque freshman, Anna Jandro. And it'll be Warman at the line to shoot free throws. Warman misses the first. As Rebecca Ryder checks back in for Riley Kinney. Warman set for the second, able to bury that one. So Houlton within 10, 35-25. Schoberg gets it off to Castoni, bumps into Schoberg, and loses the handle and stolen away by the Shires.
Well, that's nice hands by Warman, able to reach in and knock it away right to Henderson.
Ewings with it at the right wing. Lobs it to Swallow at the left elbow. Now it's Howe. Long jumper just inside the arc. Pop in and then back out. Her shot put up a reach-in foul called on Jandro. And we'll be shooting more free throws as this is turned into a James Harden special. Spending a lot of time at the free throw line.
Well, it was a great job by Howe to follow it up. Jandro reaching in, picks up her second.
Howe misses the first as Legassi checks in for Ryder. Howe makes the second. In the corner, Legassi. Backdoor feed for Castoni. Dumps it off to Trombley, who will lay it in.
That's a nice find there. Defense didn't rotate in time, allowing Trombley to lay it in.
37-26, 3:50 to go third quarter. Henderson goes to the rim. Shot was a bit too strong, and on the weak side cleared by Legassi.
Well, real good look, just using that high curl around the free throw line.
To the rim, Schoberg with a finger roll.
Strong take with the weak hand. That time lefty going in, laying it in.
It's going to be Howe. Shot put up, tough shot off the top of the window. Able to get it to go. She's up to 7 points.
Yeah, caught her on the wing. Good strong attack of the rim. Offense picking up. We talked about how they came out of the gates a little slow, but in the last 2 minutes, started to pick up.
Jandro to the block, kicks it out to Castoni. Now in the corner, Jandro. 39-28, 2:50 to go, third quarter. Jandro will let it fly from the top of the key. Comes up short. Lagasse tried to save it. She couldn't. And it'll go over to Houlton. Olivia Henderson crosses the timeline. Jumper put up by Swallow. Couldn't get the roll. Lagasse crosses over. Inside the free throw line. Goes off her left sneaker. Ball is loose. She's able to get it back. Jandro, though, is going to be called for the travel. Back over to Houlton with 2:22 to go in the third. Presque leading by 11.
I like the hustle by Lagasse. Lost the dribble, but stuck with it and able to keep the possession for the Wildcats. But then, again, we see the travel violation where they just don't get the ball down in time.
Henderson crosses over, hands off to Emma Swallow. And now the pass deflected, but scooped up by Warman. Back out to Olivia Henderson. I almost called her Olivia Hudson.
It's a name from the Wildcat past.
Henderson off to Warman. Backing down on Jandro. Swallow inside the lane. Shot was off the mark. Kicks it back out to Henderson for three from the right wing. Front iron no good. Long board tracked down by Schoberg, tied up by Warman. And the possession arrow will favor Houlton.
That's a couple times Warman's got in there. Once she knocked a dribble away. This time she gets in, ties it up. Gets an extra possession for the Shires.
Getting into Emma Swallow. Her jumper gets the friendly roll.
Well, the screen for Ewings on the weak side drew three defenders. Allows Swallow to pop up. Knock down that mid-range jumper.
Pass intended for Lagasse was deflected and stolen. 39-30, Presque leading. Minute and a half remaining in the third quarter. Henderson, right-hand dribble, bounces it off to Tegan Ewings at the right wing. Now to Emma Swallow. She'll swing it to Olivia Henderson. Just across the three-point arc on the left side. Comes over to the near side. Henderson, left baseline, jumper for three off the mark. Jandro over to Lagasse in transition, blocked away from behind by Worthley. Castoni saves from going out of play. Will throw it to open space. Schoberg tracks it down.
Well, that's a nice play by Worthley. Able to not commit the foul and still get the rejection.
Schoberg, left-hand dribble, gets around one defender, pulls up, banks it home.
That's a couple times now she's gone to her left hand, left side dribble, and this time she doesn't take it all the way. Like the use of the window.
Gets the lead back up to double digits for Presque. 30 seconds to go in the third. Off of Henderson's foot, it's still loose. Scooped up by Schoberg. Now Warman providing the defense, steals it away from Schoberg, goes to the bucket, too strong off the window. Now it's Anna Jandro. 15 seconds, Jandro will slow it down, will throw it over to Schoberg.
Well, Warman wasn't able to convert there, but I love her effort and hustle out there.
They get it out to Jandro, let it fly for three. She got hit on the hand, and that'll be 3 free throws for Anna Jandro upcoming.
Well, that's the play the Wildcats love to run. The end of quarter situations. Spread them out across the baseline, set a cut 3 screens. This time it was Anna Jandro they were setting up.
Jandro misses the first. Jandro makes the second. Lagasse thought it was 2 free throws, but pleasantly surprised.
You could hear a pin drop in here.
Will be a third one upcoming
for these free throws.
Jandro goes 2 for 3 from the line, put her in double figures with 10 points. 1.3 seconds on the clock. They'll throw it into Olivia Henderson. They'll let time expire. And at the end of 3, it's 43-30. The Wildcats have the lead. We're back in 60 seconds for the fourth quarter after this on WHOU.
Don't get flush traded. Get Rick Hannigan Plumbing and Heating to handle all your pipes. Master Plumber Rick is ready to get your pipes back in action. Give Rick a call today at 538-7131 and like him on Facebook.
Scoville Building Supplies may be a little store, but it's a whole lot more. You can find most anything you need at Scoville Building Supplies: plumbing, painting, lumber, windows, or doors. Everything you will need for your construction, remodeling, updating, or building. Call Scoville Building Supplies today at 425-3192. We all know a Aroostook County winter isn't much fun, but it can be with the right equipment. Houlton Tire Company at 76 Myrna Street is your boss plow dealer and carries the King of Snow Aaron snowblowers. Full service department with parts in stock. Steelstone Industries in Houlton is your location for gravel, salt, sand, paving, and plowing. Groundwork materials of all kinds and equipment to move it. Steelstone Industries is your aggregate supplier. You can visit Steelstone Industries at 154 Steelstone Street in Houlton.
Back on WHOU, Steve Carmichael with Bobby Russell. 43-30, Presque with the advantage over Houlton as we get set to begin the fourth quarter of play. Castoni will inbound on the far sideline. Schoberg has it. Inside out dribble, screen set by Castoni. Schoberg at the right wing across the arc. Now it's Jondro. That's a long three. Came up short.
Well, you could see that was an option off of that ball screen for Schoberg. Castoni set the screen for Jondro, but just caught it a little too far out.
Howe with it at the free throw line, drives right on Jondro, kicks it out. Olivia Henderson fires, too strong. Long rebound, fought for between Howe and Castoni. Tie up is going to favor the Shires. Howe will inbound. Excuse me, that's Worthley. Going to find a teammate for a 5-second call, and there it is. Presque with a pressure defense causes the turnover.
Nice job by denying any inbound pass. Houlton was really looking to get Mia Henderson coming around the low block side, and they took it away.
Jondro has it poked away by Warman. Back the other way is Olivia Henderson. Shot put up was too strong. Henderson, though, on the weak side, takes it away from Anna Jondro. And now Henderson shuffled the feet, and that'll be a travel back the other way.
You know, that steal there by Mia Henderson, we've seen that done by the Shires multiple times here, where the Wildcats, you got to realize the defenders are behind you still, and they're coming from behind and knocking it away or just simply taking it.
Morrow with an open lane to the basket with a left hand. Can't bank it home. Lagasse looking for the putback. That wouldn't fall. Lagasse will give Presque a third crack at it. Now Castoni's mid-range jumper doesn't fall. Morrow and Henderson fight for it, and the tie-up will favor the Wildcats.
Nice job there by Morrow. I thought she might have got bumped going in for the layup, but there was no whistle, but she stuck with it here. And there's a tie-up. Going to stay with the Wildcats.
Castoni lobs it in, looking for Morrow, intercepted by Olivia Henderson. Henderson back the other way, nobody picked her up. She fires it for three, back iron no good. And foul on the rebounding action. I think it's going to go on Maggie Castoni.
I'm not sure.
They're going to call it on, it's number 23, so that's Mia Henderson.
Yeah, I think Castoni, as you say, going to get called for it. I think she got away with a little forearm shiver into the back.
Tegan Ewings will check back in for Henderson. She's called for her fourth foul. 7th on the Shiretowners. So Presque will be shooting free throws the rest of the way. Morrow makes the first. Her first points so far of the night. She's been very active.
She brings to the table those things that don't necessarily show up in the stat sheet. A lot of hustle.
Yep.
You know, rebounding. It's not going to be the headlines of the Bangor Daily, but all help the team.
45-30. 6:35 remaining in the fourth quarter. Howe go over to Olivia Henderson. Warman at the block. Guarded by Castoni. Worthley goes left, spins back to her right, finds Warman. 10-footer, swish.
Warman just slid out to that short corner. And good find by Worthley.
Castoni will lob it to Jondro into the front court. 45-32. Presque leads. See what Presque does offensively here with a 13-point advantage if they try to kill some clock. Castoni, is it too early, Bobby?
Well, no, I don't think it is. I think you can be real patient, and that's a good look. Yep. They ran their offense, couple passes, a little bit of movement. Schoberg gets backdoor, our defender overplaying, knocks down a 15-footer.
Back out to a 15-point advantage. Schoberg with 12 points. Jondro and Castoni both in double figures as well. So 3 players over 10 points for head coach Jeff Hudson. Ewing's at the free throw line, up top to Henderson. We'll swing it to Warman. Out to Ewings, rips it through, attacks to her right at the elbow, back out Warman for 3 from the right side, knocks it down. Hey, what? Drew Warman's come in as a freshman. She's got 6 points so far on the night. Seems to be getting a bit more comfortable now as the game has gone on.
Yeah, that shot right there looked real nice.
In
Just
rhythm.
no hesitation. The dribble drive, drew the defender, kicked it out to her, and she just caught it. The last 2, actually, even when she slid out to the short corner, and they found her there.
40.
Neither shot, I don't think, hit any iron.
Yep, 47-35. Schoberg double teamed in the backcourt, looking for some help. Gets it in Castoni. Dribbles through traffic, now at the left side. Down to Jondro in the corner. Presque going right to left. Home white uniforms. Legassi at the right elbow. Back out Castoni, top of the key. Warman on her. She drives right. Jump stop at the block. Kicks it out Legassi for the triple. Off the mark. And the board down to Warman. Ewings into the paint. Tough runner. Ardell tried to tip it to space, but picked out of the air by Legassi. And she crosses the timeline.
I'll tell you, the Shires getting back in defense. They have got their hands on a lot of dribbles from the Wildcats, knocked it away this time. Howe couldn't keep it in play, but they disrupt the play or have generated some turnovers. Just coming in from behind.
Wildcats finally get it in. Legassi. Picture dribble up in the corner. Libby Morrow inside the lane, working on Ardell. Finds a gap, couldn't finish. And down to Rebecca Howe on the rebound. Howe goes over to Ewings. Henderson, picked up by Schoberg, top of the key. Dribbles on near midcourt. We'll bounce it over to Ewings. Free throw line. Ardell tried to pass it to Warman. She was cutting back door. And she passed it right to fellow Presque students in the front row.
Yeah, just a little miscommunication there. There was Henderson and Warman out on that wing. Looked like one was screening up, one was screening down, and Ardell threw the pass, and neither one of them were there to receive it.
Schoberg with it on the right baseline. Jondro at the wing. Far side. Up top, Trombley, right-hand dribble. Elbow extended. On the baseline, Morrow spins back to her right with the lay-in. Libby Morrow, hard attack of the rim. She'll lay it up and in and extend the lead to 14.
Ardell did a nice job of denying her access into the lane, but Morrow, even better job of recognizing it and spinning to her right and able to lay it in.
Ardell will go over to Olivia Henderson. 49-35 the score. 3.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Howe will be fouled by Jondro. And for Presque, right now, the clock being your friend.
You prefer it to be running?
The clock, well, if you're Presque, absolutely. Howe misses the first. As checking back in is Morgan Graham. Howe will get one more. Howe with 8 points. Lead is 13 for Presque. Jondro tried to go to Castoni. Pass was too far behind her. As a timeout is going to be called. It's a full timeout by head coach Jeff Hudson. We'll take it with him. 3:25 to go in the fourth quarter. A 13-point lead for Presque. We're back for the finish in 60 seconds on WHOU.
Out here, builders choose Advantech products to provide a durable base that helps prevent bouncing and warping. So in here, you can enjoy the beauty of luxurious finished floors without worrying about pops, squeaks, or creaks. Because out here and in here, there's no better sound than the peace and quiet that comes from Advantech products. The flat out best for a quiet, stiff floor.
Excellence at ground level is what you get with J. McLaughlin Construction in Houlton. Founded in 2012, the company plans the construction of streets, residential areas, and commercial buildings, and they are involved in both public and private projects. Their high-quality work and many years of experience have earned them an excellent reputation and a loyal client base. Regardless of whether you need a detailed plan for a building or would like to build a road, J. McLaughlin Construction is your reliable partner for all your engineering needs. Call J. McLaughlin Construction at 532-6335 or 694-2546.
Back at Presque High School, Steve Carmichael with Bobby Russell. Resuming action in the fourth quarter. Presque leading by 13, 49-36. It's Morgan Graham with it on the left side. At the top of the arc, it's going to be Olivia Henderson trying to isolate on Faith Schoberg. Looking for Morgan Graham on the right side. Gets it to her along the sideline, just in front of head coach Sean Graham. Now she's trapped with nobody to get to and going to be called for the 5-second violation. Presque.
A nice job up denying all passing lanes, making it real difficult and picking up the turnover as they had just done earlier and giving it to Houlton.
Now Presque in a bit of trouble in the backcourt. They find Libby Morrow. She gets away from traffic up the right side. She's going to try to pass it off to Jandro. It was intercepted. Henderson, inside-out dribble, can't get away from Schoberg. Time continues to tick away. 2.5 remaining in the final quarter. Still a 13-point lead for Presque. Shire's 1-0 on the year. Presque 0-1. Big early season matchup for both teams. Olivia Henderson. Condon will go over to Graham. Right-hand dribble. High dribble and a travel call on Morgan Graham. Or they call it on Presque. Travel call on Presque, okay. So it'll be Worthley to inbound. Over to Worthley on the right wing. Back to the right side, up with a shot. It was too strong, and Schoberg will clear it, but Worthley providing the full court defense almost with the lay-in, but Schoberg right back at her, steals it from her. Minute 50 to go, fourth quarter.
The Wildcats now going to spread it out, go four corners offense.
Schoberg will throw it out to Morrow. Schoberg back with it at the left wing, guarded by Worthley as we approach 90 seconds remaining. Schoberg with the right hand, crosses over back to her left. Worthley reaches in, can't get it away from her. Trombley will give it right back to Schoberg, and now Castoni near midcourt. On the right sideline, go to Trombley. She had an open lane to the rim, but elects to kill some time.
And at this stage, it looks like the Wildcats are just going to say, we're not going to shoot anymore. We're going to play keep away. You're going to foul us and send us to the line. And Samantha Condon picks up that foul to get the clock stopped for the Shires.
Score update from Caribou, 74-33. The Vikings lead Fort Kent. Jandro at the line for Presque. Makes the first. As Tegan Ewings is back in for Condon. Jandro will get one more. Try to extend the lead to 15. And she does. Rattles that one home. 51-36. Henderson on the right wing, up top to Ewings. Guarded by Kinney. Slides her feet well to stay in front of Ewings. Worthley thought about it. Anna Trombley stays on her. Buzzio. Three-pointer launched by Olivia Henderson. Buries it.
Well, that's good ball movement. Got it all the way around. And Henderson again catching it ready to shoot. Knocks it down. Coach Graham gets a timeout to get the clock stopped. 12-point lead, Wildcats.
Head coach Sean Graham gets a quick timeout. 51-39 the score. Presque leading. 54 seconds remaining. But in the second half, it started out with Houlton was shooting lights out from beyond the arc, courtesy of Olivia Henderson, and she's got 12 points, all from beyond the arc. Presque, this is the second half. Both teams have really cooled off.
They have, and they were pretty warm in the first half.
Yeah, they were.
So you can't expect a ball club to stay as hot as that for 32 minutes. But on the defensive side of things, Presque really has kind of clamped down on them a little bit more and not really given them those easier opportunities or open looks that they had in the first half.
We get ready to resume play here. It'll be Presque basketball with 54 seconds remaining. 12-point lead. Kinney will throw it in right to Castoni near midcourt. Guarded by Warman. Castoni breaks the count. Now on the right end line, it's Jandro. Now Castoni will back it up near midcourt. Castoni, they go for the double team. It's off of Maggie Castoni. It'll be a turnover, so if you're Houlton, that's exactly what you wanted.
Exactly what you needed. They ran the double team at her and got over there on the sideline. Extra defender. Goes out of bounds. Now the Shire's got to be quick. Attack the hoop.
Henderson, Ewings, right-hand dribble all the way to the glass. Shot came up short, and a good look.
Well, it's exactly what they needed to do. Just couldn't get it to fall for them.
Schoberg will go over to Anna Jandro. And if you're Houlton, you want to foul anybody but Faith Schoberg. As her free throw shooting prowess is well documented.
Well, the last time Jandro was at the line, she knocked down a couple. See if she can do the same here.
Jandro once again knocks it down. Jandro set for the second. And makes that as well. Allison Himes checks in for Jandro. 24 seconds remaining. Presque with a 14-point lead, so it looks like Presque is going to come away with a victory here, which is quite substantial for them after losing their opener. Worthley, backdoor feed looking for Ewings, is bumped by Kinney. So Riley Kinney is called for the foul on Tegan Ewings, so we'll head to the charity stripe. It's the first foul on Kinney. Reminder, tomorrow night we'll be right back here at Presque High School as the Houlton boys will take on the Wildcats. Look forward to that game, Bobby.
We do. It should be a good game. Houlton picked up a win against MDI, and we documented the Old Town win for Presque, both 1-0 in the early season.
Ewing splits the difference. 10 seconds remaining. Houlton tied up Presque on the rebounding action. They'll retain possession. Worthley will inbound it to Henderson. Left-hand dribble to the free throw line. Out to Ewings. Gets some space. Puts up the runner. Hits the front of the iron. No good. Tipped around. Down on the floor. And they'll hold it. And that'll do it. Presque comes away with the 53-40 victory over the Houlton Shiretowners to improve their record to 1-1. Bobby will head down to the floor. When we come back, we'll talk to our Pat's Pizza post-game guest after this for the Wildcats, picking up a 13-point victory over the Shiretowners on WHOU.
TheCounty.me, your source for countywide sports, including scores and highlights from the greater Houlton, Presque Isle, and Caribou regions. We also are the source for all the latest daily news and community happenings for readers of the Houlton Pioneer Times, the Star Herald, and the Aroostook Republican and News coverage area. Visit us now on the web at thecounty.me.
Katahdin Valley Health Center, or KVHC, is a network of 6 community health centers dedicated to providing affordable, comprehensive, and high-quality care to people of all ages and incomes. We accept all patients and insurances, including those who are uninsured or on main care. Our committed patient care team is here for you, offering an extensive range of services to provide you with quality health care. We're creating healthy communities starting with you. Call or visit our website today.
Madigan Healthcare Services provides a continuum of healthcare, from skilled nursing facility, rehab therapy, to home healthcare.
After 5 days in the hospital, they suggested that I come to the Madigan. The level of care, the service, the respect that they showed me, even the aftercare, everything about it was really excellent, and I feel healthy. So the services that I've received at the Madigan have enabled me to get back to those things that I really love to do.
Sorry, Dad.
Sure, you could get him a new car. You could also light a pile of money on fire. Because as long as Mr. It wasn't my fault takes the wheel on occasion, maintaining this car is your best option. So keep it running longer, stronger, with quality parts and a whole lot of Napa know-how.
Back at Presque High School, the Wildcats pick up the victory 53-40. Right now, Bobby's standing by with our Pat's Pizza post-game guest. He's got Maggie Castoni. So, Bobby, when you're ready, go ahead, take it away.
All right, thanks, Stevie. Here with our Pat's Pizza post-game guest, Maggie Castoni. First off, congratulations on your win.
Thank you.
Now let's talk. We talked a little bit off air about came here as a sophomore. Now you're a senior. Your roles kind of changed through the course of the 3 years.
Yeah. So my first year when I was here, Emily Wheaton was on the team. So obviously, she was really good. So I didn't have as big of a role as I do this year. I'm expected to step up and be a leader of the team this year. But yeah, it's been going good.
So what have the coaches been talking to you about how to be a leader? What are they expecting?
Just a lot of talking, teaching the kids who are new on the team, the plays, and just kind of being encouraging and always being positive.
So how do you rebound from Saturday? Old Town came in and kind of knocked you off, and then you come out today against a quality opponent here in Houlton. What were the couple days, or I guess 1 day of practice to get ready for today?
We knew that we had to get a lot tougher, so we did a lot of high-intensity drills during practice yesterday, and we don't like losing in our gym, so that kind of was motivation in itself.
It certainly was. You guys came out firing really on all cylinders, and the offense was really going in the early goings, knocking down some threes, and that must have really kind of propelled you through the rest of the game.
Yeah, whenever we come out strong, we always have high intensity throughout the rest of the game, and we were able to pull it out today.
Yeah, well, congratulations, and here's a gift from Pat's Pizza, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Back to you, Stevie.
All right, that was our Pat's Pizza postgame guest, Maggie Castoni, as the Wildcats pick up the victory over the Houlton Shiretowners 53-40. Some final numbers for you. We'll start with Houlton, who dropped to 1-1 on the year. They were led by Olivia Henderson, who had 12 points. Rebecca Howe had 8. Drew Warman with 6. Mia Henderson with 5. Emma Swallow with 4. Tegan Ewings with 3. And Abby Worthley with 2 for their total of 40. On the other side for Presque Isle, who improves to 1-1. They were led by Anna Jandro, with a freshman with 14 points. Faith Schoberg had 12. Our Pat's Pizza postgame guest Maggie Castoni had 11. Anna Trombley with 6. Riley Kinney with 4. Libby Morrow with 4. And Elena Legassi with 2. So big victory early on for Presque Isle after dropping that game against Old Town. This will prove quite pivotal later in the season, but they still got one more against Houlton in the middle of January.
Well, they do, and Houlton is going to win a lot of ball games.
Yes, they will.
As they've already, got the one win. They're 1-1 on the season, and point-worthy win here for the Wildcats. And as Maggie Castoni was saying, they don't like losing here, and their home court record is pretty impressive. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but they do not lose often. And so they come out today with a little more intensity, a little more fire, and it paid dividends.
The next game for both these teams, Houlton will be playing at Herman on Saturday, so it doesn't get much easier for head coach Sean Graham. That game will be on WHOU on Saturday for our Bangor stream, and then for Presque Isle, they play at home against Waterville on Saturday. That game will also be on WHOU, so you can continue to follow both these ball clubs no matter which team you're a fan of. We'll have them all for you on WHOU. As I mentioned, the upcoming schedule tomorrow night, we'll be back here in Presque Isle as the Houlton Shiretowners. Tim Brewer brings his boys up. They'll take on head coach Terry Cummings and the Presque Isle Wildcats. That'll be the only game on tomorrow night. And then on Thursday, the only game will be Fort Fairfield at Fort Kent boys. That's a 7 o'clock scheduled tip-off. So it's early in the season, but we've already had some good basketball, Bobby, and looking forward to a great season.
Well, we certainly are, and you mentioned we got 36 games on tap throughout the course of the season.
For just
coming
us.
Coming right back tomorrow night, and it should be a good one.
And we look forward to bringing that with you. Reminder, tomorrow night, pregame starts at about 6:45. Tip-off scheduled for 7. For everybody involved on tonight's broadcast, Aiden Johnson, Greg Coster producing back at the station, Olivia Morris producing on the video side, John Humphrey, our cameraman, broadcast partner Bobby Russell. I'm Steve Carmichael. Have a good night, everybody.